Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm not talking about narcissism today. We're going to talk about the chosen ones. And if you're wondering, what does that have to do with narcissism or your narcissistic experience? It has a lot to do with it, everything actually. And I'm just learning this too. You know, you're watching my healing journey. My life is my testimony, okay, as everyone's is. And yeah, so I'm just, yeah, remember when I said I don't want to talk about narcissism anymore, I want to talk about what comes after? Well, this is what comes after. Okay, after the spiritual awakening, you find out what your mission is. Anyway, okay, so the chosen ones, the 144,000 souls who volunteered to come to planet Earth, to incarnate here on Earth, with the mission of, saving the planet, I guess, helping to help collective consciousness shift into unconditional love towards unity consciousness. Okay, it sounds really egoic to say that, oh yeah, we came to save the world. So I do feel a little awkward saying it, but you know what, I don't care anymore. I mean, I kind of care, but I don't care. I've already been alienated by people I love many times over. And so I'm just gonna speak my truth. If it resonates with you, that's great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Okay, everyone's here on their own journey, and we are all meant to be spiritually sovereign. No one is meant to rule over anyone. I'm not, here to convince anyone of my truths, my findings. Everyone has their own come to Jesus moment, so to speak, where they discover their true divinity, and that's your own religion. Okay, but the information is here if it helps, because for me, I watch a lot of people on YouTube, and my experience, though it's specific, right, because it was my experience, it's not unique in the sense that there are so many other people who have had this kind of spiritual awakening, traumatic past, and awakening to who they really are, which is love, being part of source. So anyway, the chosen ones, if you're a chosen one, you chose to come to Earth, you volunteered, okay, with this specific mission to come to Earth, awaken to your true self, and to embody unconditional love and light, and to share that with the planet. Okay, so that number 144,000, it comes from the book of Revelations. It was prophesied that there would be that number of souls that came to Earth to save the world, to save Earth. And that number specifically, it's not that there are only 144,000 souls that are on this mission. Okay, not necessarily. It's not like a tap out number, and that's it. That is a sacred number. It's got a lot of power, if you're into like numerology, but at that number is when enough souls shift their consciousness. If 144,000 souls shift their consciousness to unconditional love, then that is enough energetic movement to help shift the entire collective consciousness. Okay, so that number is a tipping point. That number is at which point, you know, things will shift. So I think there were 3 waves of volunteers. I don't know, maybe you guys can clarify for me, but I don't know if it was like each wave had 144,000 souls, or collectively they all added up to 144,000. But there were 3 waves of volunteers that came to the planet to with this mission. I think Dolores Cannon says it happened, or Gaia, Earth, put out a call for help, like an SOS, when humans created atomic weapons of mass destruction, nuclear bombs and shit, like because, you know, we have free will here, and, you know, we could pretty much do whatever we want, but if we're creating like weapons of mass destruction and, like, you know, nuclear bombs that are so powerful and so destructive that they can have a ripple effect and affect like neighboring galaxies and universes and disrupt, you know, what's going on over there, or be harmful to other galaxies, the galactic government is going to step in and be like, no, like, we can't be doing that. Okay, so like Earth humans got out of pocket with that. So Earth was like, yo, like, I need some help. And so star seeds, or beings, souls, you know, extraterrestrial multidimensional beings came, and they said, all right, we're going to help, so we're going to incarnate here. So and aliens or extraterrestrials, you know, they can't just appear on Earth. They can't just like land. I mean, they can, but it's so much work for them to lower their vibration to exist in our dimension, because there's so much more, you know, higher vibrating. They're at a much higher frequency than we are here at Earth. Earth is really dense, so that's why they're not like constantly just like landing on the planet. The way that you get here is you incarnate as a human being. So you have to start as a baby, right? So and Earth is one of the only planets where I think you have to go through a veil of forgetfulness. There are other places where you incarnate and you remember who you are. You remember that you're a multi-dimensional being having, you know, an experience in this one incarnation. But here, you go through the veil of forgetfulness. You forget your true nature, and you learn how to be human, and you unlearn. You know, you kind of get taught how to not be your true self. And then you have all, you know, the experiences, and then you awaken at a certain point, right? Which is, I think that's why some of us, I don't know if everyone, but some of us incarnated with, you know, with your twin flame, like, because when you encounter each other, you wake each other up. Like, you know, you think you're just a human, like, oh yeah, I'm just being human, and like, you know, drugs, sex, rock and roll, that's awesome. You encounter your twin, and it wakes you up. You're like, hey, we came here to do something, okay? And also like, when you merge energies with your twin flame, your power is like exponentially more. You know, it's so much greater to do the work that you came here to do, right? So if you're a chosen one, okay, you chose to incarnate into probably a very traumatic childhood, right? And you're a very advanced soul, okay? And that's not to say that you're better than other souls who don't necessarily identify as chosen ones with this mission. You know, it's just you're advanced here on earth, meaning you've had more lifetimes, more experience, more, you know, more wisdom. Some souls here are young souls, you know, they've only been here, you know, like a handful of times. And but no soul is better than any other. Like, we're all the same age, okay? We all came into being when Source split itself, since the first time Source split itself into two, wanting to experience itself, okay? But if you're a chosen one, you're an advanced being, advanced soul, and you elevate at a very, very rapid pace. Okay, so you probably experienced a lot of trauma and had to heal and evolve and like be resilient because of it. Like, you probably feel like you've lived 1,000 lifetimes, you know, since you've been here. And you know, if it seems like you're always in some kind of crisis, it's because you're always elevating. You know, people, like, you're fast tracking, you're on a fast track to enlightenment, okay? And again, that's not to say you're better than souls who come here and just, you know, they just maybe have one timeline. You know, those people who their lives just seem to go smoothly, and maybe they'll have one spiritual awakening or one change of timeline, like in their 50s or something, when they have, you know, like a midlife crisis. You know, that's just one shift in timeline. Now, if you're someone who's, you know, on the outside, it looks like you're always going through some kind of shit, like, you know, trauma after like, but you bounce back and you get stronger, and you always, you know, somehow land on your feet. It's because you're like very advanced. You're getting like all the lessons in because you have a job here to do, okay? And so the narcissist, I view that as like, I don't know, maybe like your senior year in college, okay? It's like the hardest, and or, you know, before you go into the field, right? So it's a really, really hard, it's a bunch of really hard lessons you learn. And, you know, the thing we're supposed to learn, okay, is self-love. Self-love is the same thing, is the same vibration, same frequency as unconditional love, which is the vibration of Source. Okay, it's the highest vibration. And, you know, the narcissist teaches you that, or teaches you how to teach yourself self-love, how to discover self-love. And that is essentially the mission, okay? It's not really like, oh, I gotta go make videos and I gotta get people to follow me and show them the way. Like, you know, it's not all you have to do to complete your mission. I mean, you're gonna want to do lots of other things, but is to heal yourself. Heal your trauma, your childhood wounds, become whole, happy, complete with yourself, like learn non-detachment, you know, and you learn self-love, you heal yourself, and your vibration goes up back to where it's supposed to be, to your core soul frequency. And that's why once you turn that corner after healing, after your spiritual awakening, like, that's why you're a completely different person. Like, your ego is shed. I mean, we still need our ego for, you know, I still enjoy my ego, but I just, you know, I don't let my ego drive anymore, or as much as possible. Like, it's in the back seat. Your soul, I try to let my soul drive as much as possible. And yeah, and you do that by picking love over fear, okay? Like, you lead a good life. You do the work you're here to do by choosing love. Any instance when you're presented with, you know, the opportunity to act out of love or fear, pick love. And it's not always easy to pick love. Sometimes you know, you want to be vengeful, or, you know, get someone back, or be mad that someone hurt you. But, you know, that's why it's work. It's not easy. It's not easy. But yeah, you just healing yourself, loving yourself, shifts your own consciousness, okay, from the 3D paradigm of transactional love, you know, conditional love, to the 5D paradigm of unconditional love. So that is the main objective. Like, we came here for, one, our soul's expansion, and two, to shift your own consciousness to unconditional love. Okay, so like if everybody does that, all 144,000 souls do that, there will be this massive shift in collective consciousness. Okay, so that's what the chosen ones came to do. And again, we're not chosen because, you know, oh, we're special and God chose us and we're better than other people. No, it's because we chose this path, okay? We chose to do this, we volunteered. And once you get here and you awaken to that fact, you have to choose again, okay? You get the call from God, from the universe, says, yo, you ready for your mission? And you have to choose it here. You know, people don't always choose it. Like, I don't always choose it. It's fun to, you know, live in your vices. Like, it feels good. Like, Earth is a playground. So you could not choose it if you don't want to, but you know, bad things are going to keep happening to you if you don't listen to your intuition, because yeah, apparently we don't have as much free will here as we think. But you can choose to not answer the call. But if you do answer the call, you choose your path. Okay, so, and I'll talk about this in a different video, but you know, that's why when you're chosen one or the anointed, people, they're like, well, why does this person get like special favor from the universe? Like, why are they blessed? Why do good things keep happening to them? Why does everything seem so easy? It's not easy, okay? Like, it's a really hard path, and you have to choose love all the time. And the more elevated you get, the more people will try to tear you down because they don't, you know. And yeah, but the reason why it seems like you're chosen and blessed is because you're doing God's work, okay? The universe needs you here. The universe is going to protect you. You're valuable, okay? You're valuable. You're like a MVP. And that's only if you are doing, you know, you are choosing love, you are acting out of love, you operate out of love and in, you know, your authenticity, okay? So that is who the chosen ones are. Yes. I'll see you guys in my next video.